Hey, good afternoon and welcome inside Ragsdale Field at Burger King Stadium on this midweek afternoon. It's a Wednesday afternoon here at the ballpark, and we're set for a non-conference game as the visiting Falcons of Montevallo have come to town to take on your Columbus State University Cougars. We welcome everyone joining us here on Cougar Sports TV. A little bit of a different broadcast here for today's game, just audio only, no video. Our apologies, but our two basketball teams are having their senior day over at Lumpkin Center, coinciding at the exact same time as this game. But we want to make sure that we'll bring you all the action, so we've got an audio version of this broadcast coming your way this afternoon. Well, it's the Cougars of Columbus State and Tyler Cadenhead taking the mound here for CSU, a team that has been on fire as of late. The Cougars now 10-3 overall on the year, coming off a fantastic sweep, a conference sweep. This not a conference, although former conference foes between Montevallo and the Cougars, but it's good to get some non-conference action in here this Wednesday afternoon. We've got the first pitch that's sent in there by Tyler Cadenhead as that one's fouled to the left side. We are underway here at Ragsdale Field. Leading things off for Montevallo is the right fielder, Kane. It'll be Kane, Collymore, and Teal, the 1-2-3 hitters for the Falcons. Kane steps back into the plate. The left-handed hitter bends low, and TC sends the second pitch in, shows bunt. That one's fouled back. Kane quickly behind 0-2 in the count. Kane, not a lot of height up there inside the batter's box, but he does have a lot of speed on the base paths. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Down the middle, just a little low there. 1-2 the count. So TC getting the start here this afternoon. His second start of the season. His last start was the last midweek game for CSU. That was against Albany State. One of those games that the Cougars want to forget. A 5-0 shutout loss against the Golden Rams of Albany State. That happened back on February 11th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Down the middle, called third strike. Kane will have to head back to the dugout, one down. So a good start for Tyler Cadenhead on the bump as he picks up a strikeout in the first batter that he faces. That brings up Khalid Collymore to the plate, another left-handed hitter. You got back-to-back lefties up there in this Montevallo lineup. He shows bunt, goes down the middle as he pulled back for a called strike. Collymore, the center fielder for Montevallo, one of the best hitters on this squad. Between him and Asa Aubrey, they are really racking up the hits. That ball's going to skirt into the outfield as it went underneath or over the glove of Matthew McDade on a swing that went inside the right side as Matthew McDade went to his right, and then he's going to pick up an error on that play. That will be the first error of the game. Normally a really good fielding team for Columbus State, so not the start that you want to see if you're CSU. Just their 14th error this season, and this is a team that is one of the leaders in the nation in fielding percentage, and as we know, the leader in the nation in double plays turned this season. So we'll keep an eye on Collymore over there at first base. TC's already thrown over there once. You're going to try and keep them close to the bag. This is a Montevallo squad that steals a whole ton of bases. 23 stolen bases already in just 13 games of play. That pitch is outside. First pitch that's sent in to the new batter. Want to know the count. It's Teal at the plate right now, the second baseman for the Falcons, hitting .302 this season. Cadenhead second pitch, same spot, outside and away, 2-0. We appreciate all those that have joined us here on this audio-only broadcast of the Cougars and Falcons. Cadenhead goes back to first base. Again, our two basketball teams are going to be having their senior night inside the Lumpkin Center, so all of our video cameras are over there taking part of that special occasion for our basketball teams. But We're here to bring you all the audio action of this one here at Ragsdale Field. Pitch that's fouled away by Teal makes the count 2-1. You've got Collymore over on first base and one out after they strike out to open things up. Caden heads 2-1 pitch, a swing chopped over the meadows. Do the Cougars have another double play in them over the first base? And it's sailed though by McDade. Had a chance for a double play there, but too high as that ball goes all the way, bounces off the dugout fence there of Montevallo and goes right back to Horn over at first. So runner is out over there at second base. They aren't able to turn the double play. But there's two down now. A runner on first. Owen won the count, two down. Another lefty up at the plate here as that pitch is inside. 1-1 the count. It's Aubrey who's at the plate. Again, we mentioned Aubrey and Collymore, two of the two best hitters on this Montevallo squad. In fact, they're really kind of the two that do all the damage between Aubrey and Collymore. Runner on first. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's chopped up the middle to Boughton. Should be an easy tag of the base, second base that is, as Boughton throws the ball back to the mound. And there's the third out for the Cougars. Well, no runs come across despite a couple of batters getting on. We'll head to the bottom of the first here on Cougar Sports TV. Welcome back here on Cougar Sports TV. Bottom of the first inning. No hits, no runs. There was an error up there by CSU, but no damage done as their bats will now come up to the plate. David Meadows steps into the plate and looks at a ball with the first pitch that's sent in by Duncan. Duncan, the right-handed junior from Bradenton, Florida. He gets the nod here this afternoon for Montevallo as he sent the second pitch in. That's high and away for ball two. Duncan this season for Montevallo with a 5.40 ERA for the Falcons, making just his second start of the season. 2-1 the count. Cougars have their normal lineup that they've rolled out here. So Meadows gets the leadoff spot, followed by Boughton and Brooks. He looks at a strike there, 2-2. Here comes a pitch from Duncan, the 2-2 pitch. Meadows swings and spoils that one away and out of play. It's a chilly day out there down at Ragsdale Field. I've got the window closed here, trying to help a little bit out with the audio so that we don't blast you away with all the music that's being played here in our audio-only broadcast. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. A swing and a miss there by Meadows as Duncan picks up the strikeout. Well, Duncan coming off his lone start of the season against Lynn, and it was a phenomenal performance. Even though real short, only 4 2/3 that he pitched, but he only gave up 2 hits, no earned, while striking out 6. He put together a great performance on the mound and picks up a strikeout here to his first batter. So Boughton steps in and looks at a strike to start this at-bat. Isaac Boughton for the Cougars. A great addition to the CSU lineup. Boughton with 13 RBIs for CSU. One of the team leaders with those 13 RBIs. He's tied with a couple of other Cougars up there, and Connor Curley and Dane Bullock. That pitch sent in for a strike. 1-2 now the count to Boughton. Cougars wearing their white unis, white tops, white bottoms. Got the red letters. Montevallo purple tops, gray bottoms. A little black trim. Off the end of the bat, that one's going to be rolled foul as Boughton will head back to the batter's box. 1-2 still a count. We're in the bottom of the first inning here at Ragsdale Field. A 0-0 game here with the Cougars and Falcons doing battle in this non-conference matchup. Yeah, for all of you followers of the Cougars throughout the years, you're well aware that these two used to be conference foes. Just a couple seasons ago, before Montevallo left for the Gulf South Conference, now part of the GSC. And hey, ever since they left for the GSC, it's been all Columbus State in the battle between these two. That one fouled away again, 2-2 the count. Cougars have won all 4 meetings since the Falcons joined the GSC. They lead the all-time series 27-14. Duncan gets set, 2-2 the count. There's the pitch, outside, just misses there, full count. All right, so we'll have the payoff pitch upcoming here with Boughton at the plate. Boughton's worked himself into just 5 walks so far this season, but he's only struck out 7 times as he fouls that one towards the Falcons dugout. So we'll get a chance to do it again here with Boughton and Duncan doing battle. Here's the payoff pitch. That one's sent straight over to the shortstop, Wooten. He'll fire it over to first base for out number 2. Well, quick outs for CSU. Meadows struck out and Boughton grounded out too short. Robert Brooks digs in at the plate here for CSU. It was good to see him get that home run on the board, his first one of the season in that series against Flagler. Unfortunately, I actually was not here on Friday night, so I didn't even get to see his home run. I asked him if it really happened, and just had a little chuckle about it. Here's the 1-0 pitch outside in the dirt, 2-0. Brooks quickly ahead and a favorable count here at the plate. Hitting just 273 to start his junior season. I say just 273. That's because, man, as a sophomore, he hit 302. As a freshman, led the team in batting average, 337. Kid's been unbelievable at the plate ever since he became a Cougar straight out of high school. As he looks at ball 3, he's way ahead here for the Cougars. Came to CSU out of Wheeler High School from Marietta, Georgia. See if he's given the green light. He's one of the players that sometimes is given that light. He just looks at a strike there, though. 3-1 now the count. Here comes the pitch. Brooks swings hard into left center field. It's going to have a chance to drop into the gap, and it does. It goes all the way back to the wall. Just shy of the warning track, the relay into second base. Brooks is going to slide in safely. He's got a double for the Cougars. Robert Brooks carried that one into the gap in left center field, right towards the World Series sign out there, up against the fence. And he raced himself over to second base for the double for CSU. So a two-out double here by Brooks puts a runner in scoring position for the Cougars. And it brings up one of their best hitters on the squad, and Bryson Horn, who's hitting .380 to open up his first season as a Cougar. That's a great job by Langford behind the dish to catch that one before it went to the backstop. Almost got away from Duncan there on that what would have been a wild pitch. Want to know the count here to Horn as the lefty digs back into the batter's box. Brooks over there on second base, 2 down in a 0-0 game here in the bottom of the first. Here comes the pitch from Duncan. Again, it's low and inside, ball 2. Fourth batter that Duncan has faced here in this first inning. As he goes to work against Bryson Horn. He's behind just like he was against Brooks, who's over there on second base. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Horn gives that one a ride. Is it going to stay fair for CSU? It's over the wall. It is a foul ball. Wow, that was as close as it gets. The home plate umpire throws his hands up and rules it a foul ball. No doubt about that one getting out of here, and Bryson Horn looks at the home plate umpire and is questioning his call there, having a laugh with him. Woo, Bryson Horn just inches shy there of hitting a 2-run home run. He got a hold of that one and sent it a long ways as it went up against the netting out there in right field, but just a tick out in front on that one. So we'll have to redo it. 2-1 the count. And he looks at a ball outside and high, 3-1. Well, it would have been the 3rd home run of the season for Bryson Horn. A transfer from Georgia Highlands College. 3-1 the count. Brooks on second base. Duncan looks back. Gets the call. Sends the pitch in. That one inside on Horn. It's going to be ball 4 and put runners on first and second. So Duncan running into a little bit of trouble here. He gave up the 2-out double to Robert Brooks and then walks Bryson Horn with 2 outs over to first base. It's going to put Drew Webb at the plate for the Cougars. This is a guy that you like to see here up at the plate in this scenario, Drew Webb. Hitting .277 this season, but he's been collecting hits game after game after game. That's pretty much all he does. It's usually just one hit, which is something that he continues to laugh about. Just can't quite get that multi-hit game. He has just one multi-hit game, but the only game that he didn't pick up a hit in was against Albany State. Other than that, he's got hits in 12 of the 13 games for the Cougars to open up his senior season. Duncan gets the ball, gets set, and he's about ready to throw in this 0-2 pitch. Runners on first and second with 2 down as Duncan looks back at second base. Sends the pitch in. It's low, 1-2. Brooks is on second. Bryson Horn on first. Brooks hit that 2-out double. Bryson Horn walked. Cougars trying to put together a little 2-out rally here in the bottom of the first of a scoreless game. Here's the pitch off speed. That one skied high in the air. Going to be an easy play to make for the shortstop, who's on the edge of the grass as Wooten lets it settle into his glove for the third and final out. So the Cougars strand runners on first and second base. It's 0-0 after one here on Cougar Sports TV. Well, we welcome all those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV for this audio-only version of this broadcast. One quick out on the first pitch there by Tucker Marilla as he went straight over to short. And the next batter is going to step up. That's Evan Place, the first baseman, as he looks at a strike called to open up his AB. Tyler Cadenhead trying to work real quick out there on the bump for CSU. He's already thrown this second pitch in. That's inside and low, ball one. Well, the Cougars had runners on first and second after two quick outs, but were unable to do anything after Drew Webb popped up to the shortstop, Wooten. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, a swing that's fouled back. Evan Place at the plate, and then Alex Langford on deck for Montevallo. Place hitting just 133 this season. He's only had 15 at-bats for Montevallo, but he's collected only 2 hits on the season. Just 2 for 15 at the plate. He's only making his 5th start of the year, but yet again, another lefty up there in this Falcons lineup. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's a little bloop into left field, and it's just past the diving Boughton. He was tracking all the way to his right, trying to come up with it. Stuck the glove out, dove to his right, but couldn't quite see it fall into his glove. It's going to be a 1-out single for Place, just his 3rd hit this year. I was just talking about how he really struggled at the plate, and then he comes up with that bloop single. Brings Alex Langford, the catcher, to the plate, and yet another left-handed hitter for Montevallo. First pitch low, ball one. Whole ton of lefties out there for Tyler Cadenhead this afternoon. He's going to have his hands full all game. Right now, we mentioned chilly temperatures out there, and the wind's actually blowing a little bit in. That one is skied high on the infield. Brooks takes his mask off. Horn calls everyone off. He's going to make the grab in foul territory for the out. Bryson Horn in between home plate and first base in foul territory for out number 2. So there's the second out. with Reed Latimer now coming to the plate. Latimer, the third baseman for Montevallo. He's been a routine starter for the Falcons all season long, but he's only hitting 195 on the year for the Falcons. 0-1 the count, 2 down, runner over on first base in a 0-0 game. That pitch is outside for ball one. Cadenhead looks over at first. 1-1 the count. Cougars just need one more out. It's hit well into right field. Drew Webb is going back. He'll have plenty of space, though, to make the grab deep there in right field as he does so for the third and final out. So no runs again. Put another 0 up there on the board for TC. Let's head to the bottom of the second here on Cougar Sports TV. Welcome back here on Cougar Sports TV. Bottom of the second inning with Dane Bullock to lead things off here for CSU. It's a 0-0 ball game here at Ragsdale Field on this Wednesday afternoon, almost evening time. We appreciate y'all joining us here on this audio-only broadcast for this game. Bullock smashes one into left field, going back at the wall and looking up. See you later. It's a solo home run for Dane Bullock. One of the hottest bats in the Peach Belt Conference right now. Touch 'em all. Dane Bullock, his third home run of the year as the Cougars jump out in front on the solo shot. Well, that's a way to start the bottom of the second inning. Just the second pitch thrown in by Duncan in the inning becomes a souvenir out there in left center field. First pitch sent in to Will Wilbanks, the new batter here for CSU. The lefty back in the lineup here for Columbus State. After getting the final game of the series against Flagler, got the day off. He hits a slow roller up the middle, bouncing over from short is Wooten, and he makes the play over at first base for out number one. A ground out there by Will Wilbanks follows up the solo home run from Dane Bullock. You mentioned one of the hottest bats out there in the Peach Belt Conference. Dane Bullock has been on fire as of late, now hitting .340 on the season. And that home run gives him now 8 extra base knocks in his senior campaign. Matthew McDade at the plate, the sophomore from Cape Coral, Florida, gets his first at-bat of the afternoon. 0-2 quickly the count here to McDade as he's looked at a couple of pitches. Here's the pitch. That's high and inside for ball one. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's outside, ball 2. The 2-2 pitch. That one fouled away as McDade went upstairs for that one. Two and two the count, bases empty, only one down here. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Dane Bullock has given the Cougars the 1-0 lead on that solo home run. Duncan goes off speed breaking ball. That one's fouled back. McDade in a battle here, just trying to stay alive. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Here's the pitch from Duncan off the end of the bat. Put up in the air. It's tracking towards foul territory. First baseman places over there at the wall, and it's just going to go over and out of play. Place unable to make the grab. Count still 2-2. Duncan sends that pitch in off the end of the bat. A little bloop, a flare into right center field. It's going to drop in for a base knock as Matthew McDade picks up his 14th hit this season. So a one-out single from Matthew McDade puts him at first base, and Connor Curley will step into the box for his first at-bat, the 9-hole hitter for the Cougars, who also has been on a torrid start to his sophomore season, hitting .372 for CSU. What a bounce back he's had from his freshman year. Went just 2 of 29 at the plate, and now he's 16 for 43. Short lefty out there, just 5'8", 155. Off the end of the bat, it's going to be sprayed in there for a single into left field. So back-to-back singles from the 8 and 9 hitters for CSU. Puts runners on first and second for the Cougars. With a 1-0 lead, the Cougars are threatening here with 2 on, runners on first and second, and they've got the top of the lineup at the plate with David Meadows up there. Only 1 out still. Duncan looks back at second base. McDade is there. Curley over at first. First pitch sent in, and it's swung hard there by David Meadows out in the left field, and it's going to stay in fair territory. Bounces up against the wall. 1 run is going to score as McDade comes across. Curley will stay at third. Meadows has himself a stand-up RBI double for the Cougars. Second run of the game comes across courtesy of Meadows' bat. Cougars are in business here in the bottom of the second. That's going to bring one of the coaches out of the dugout for Montevallo. Montevallo, led by Chandler Rose, he's actually in his 10th season here for the Falcons. A 244 and 216 overall record. He's been there during the Cougars Peach Belt Conference time, and both of these squads were in the Peach Belt Conference. Well, this inning all started with a Dane Bullock smash over the left center field wall. A solo home run to open up the bottom of the second inning. A couple of singles from McDade and Curley, and then the RBI double for Meadows. It's put runners on second and third, so 2 on and scoring position here for the Cougars, and Isaac Boughton, the one at the plate. Boughton actually has a chance to put himself and sole possession of the RBI count. I mean, it's a battle right now between him and Dane Bullock, as well as Connor Curley. Bullock just picked up his 14th RBI of the season with that solo home run. Bouton has 13, so he's one behind, but with a lot of speed over there on second and third, a single would just about most likely score 2 runs. Bouton swings through that pitch. Strike number 2, 0-2 now the count. Single by McDade, single by Curley, and a double by Meadows. It's 3 consecutive hits for the Cougars. That one chopped up the middle. It's going to go straight into center field. The shortstop, Wooten, was playing a little bit inside, so he's not going to get there. 2 more runs are going to come across, and there's that single that plates 2 as Isaac Bouton now takes the team RBI lead with his 15th RBI this season. So Meadows and Curley both come around to score for CSU. They've put up a 4 spot here in the bottom of the second to jump out to the 4-0 lead. First pitch swinging there was Robert Brooks. It's hit well into right field, but about 5 feet shy of the warning track for out number 2. So the Cougars got the 1-0 lead on the Dane Bullock home run. David Meadows with the RBI double made it 2-0, and then Isaac Bouton got 2 more across with the single up the middle. So a 4-0 lead here for CSU with 2 down in the bottom of the second as Horn fouls it back on the first pitch. Duncan looks over at first, sends the pitch in. It's outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Now, this is the first matchup between these two squads. Again, now that they're non-conference foes, they usually do a 1-1 against each other each season. So 1 home game, 1 away game. This is the home one. The return action will happen later on this season, all the way on April 8th, as the Cougars will head to Montevallo for that return game. 1-2 the count here to Bryson Horn, who's at the plate. He chops one over to third base. A little snow cone there by Latimer over at third, and he makes the throw to first to end the second inning, but not before the Cougars played 4 runs. Dane Bullock, a solo home run, got things started. An RBI double for Meadows, and then a 2 RBI single from Bouton. It's 4-0. Cougars on top here through 2.
here for
We welcome those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV. We're in the bottom of the third inning here in our audio-only version of this broadcast. Again, audio only with no video, as our senior day is happening over inside the Lumpkin Center. So all of our cameras are over there. We wish our two basketball teams the best of luck. Our women's basketball and men's basketball teams taking on rival Georgia Southwestern this evening. So if you're in town, you can head on over to the Lumpkin Center or head on over here to Ragsdale Field, as the Cougars are enjoying a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. All four of those runs came in the bottom of the second, and it all started with the one at the plate right now in Dane Bullock. He's got a full count as Duncan sends the off-speed pitch in, and Bullock fouls that one back. Looks like it's going to skirt out of play and on top of us. So we'll redo the 3-2 count. Dane Bullock hit that solo home run to kick off the second inning. He kicked it off with a bang there for CSU. They almost batted through the lineup. So here's Bullock in a 3-2 count. Duncan sends the pitch in, and Bullock again fouls it back. We'll do it again. Only one down here for CSU in the bottom of the third inning. Drew Webb fouled in his last at-bat to the first baseman for the first out. Duncan set. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It misses. Ball 4. Dane Bullock's going to take first base for the Cougars. So with the runner over on first base, it will bring Will Wilbanks to the plate. Wilbanks 0 for 1 on the afternoon, as Coach Rose is actually going to head on out to the mound. And it looks like the bullpen is ready, up and ready to roll with a change here, as the Falcons will bring in a new pitcher. So that means we'll take a break. It's 4-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. We have a new pitcher coming out for the Falcons. We'll take a break here on Cougar Sports TV. Back here on Cougar Sports TV with the pitching change for the Falcons. Colin Booton has come into the game for Montevallo with Will Wilbanks, the left-handed hitter, up there. So a lefty-on-lefty matchup for Montevallo. Booton this season making his 5th appearance. He's got a 6.00 ERA in just 3 innings of work. He's given up a couple of runs. The Cougars have a runner over there on first base. It's Dane Bullock after the walk. Wilbanks looks at a ball that misses low. 1-1 the count. So Tyler Cadenetti's thrown up 3 zeros here for the Cougars to open up this midweek game. That's what you like to see if you're head coach Greg Appleton. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Wilbanks sends that one for a ride, but he's just out in front of it. It's going to go foul. Had the distance there. Boy, it takes a big hop out there towards the softball field. That was plenty gone, but he was out in front of that one as it went to the right side of the right field foul pole. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Count stays at 1-2. Bullock's over there at first base. Only one out for the Cougars. They are enjoying a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning on Cougar Sports TV. This our audio-only broadcast. Again, it's senior night for our basketball teams inside the Lumpkin Center, so our video cameras are over there. Wilbanks rips a single into right field. A one-out single is going to put runners on first and second now for CSU. So Drew Webb led the inning off as he fouled to the first baseman. Dane Bullock drew a walk. Will Wilbanks hits a single, and they have runners on first and second with McDade at the plate and Curley on deck if it gets there for CSU. McDade already 1 for 1, goes first pitch swinging. It's hit well into right field, but a great jump out there by Kane as he makes the grab just in time for out number 2. That almost had a chance to drop, and it would have loaded the bases. But instead, it's out number 2, and it brings Connor Curley to the plate. First pitch in there for a ball as Curley looks at that one. So another lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Curley, though, has runners on first and second with 2 down. We saw him hit the single in his first at-bat. Ended up coming around to score. One of the 4 runs that have scored here for the Cougars. Curley's ahead in the count, 2-0. Again, new pitcher on the mound. It's Colin Boutin, who came in relief. Curley hits that one high in the right field. That's going to go towards foul territory and just get out of play as the right fielder Kane was giving chase all the way up against the fence. He lost his hat out there in right field. Gave it a good run, but it just went over the fence. That one was hit pretty deep by Curley, maybe about 315. Nice little pop on that one. As he heads back to the batter's box. 2-1 the count. Boutin looks over at first, sends a pitch in. It's a ball, and it's going to get away from the catcher, Langford, so it's going to move the runners up. Runners now on second and third off of the wild pitch. So ball 3 and a wild pitch moves runners up to second and third. A very favorable count here for Connor Curley at the plate. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's high, ball 4. Well, out of nowhere, the bases are loaded here for CSU with 2 outs. And it's David Meadows back up at the plate. You know what he did in his last at-bat. Had that RBI double for the Cougars. A stand-up double for David Meadows. Wouldn't mind one of those right here. And he's going to line one into right field for a base knock. 1 run is going to score. They're going to send Wilbanks around third base. He's going to get there easily for the Cougars. 2 more RBIs for David Meadows. His second and third RBIs of the game. And the Cougars now on top 6-0. Get an RBI double in his last at-bat, and now it's a 2 RBI single with the bases loaded Puts runners on the corners and makes it a 6-0 advantage here for the Cougars. First pitch ball sent in to Isaac Boughton, who is now at the plate. He had the 2 RBI single in his last at-bat in just the previous inning. In the bottom of the second inning, Boughton picked up RBIs 14 and 15. He grounds that one over to second base and flipped to short for the third and final out. Well, the Cougars get 2 more runs across thanks to David Meadows. A little 2-out rally there by the Cougars. He plates 2 more to make it a 6-0 game. Cougars on top here on Cougar Sports TV. Six to 0 our score. Cougars on top through 3 innings here on Cougar Sports TV. It's a midweek game between the Cougars and Falcons of Montevallo. A non-conference game as Tyler Cadenhead sends the first pitch in of the 4th inning. He's put up 3 zeros there to open up his second start of the year. 1-0 the count as he duffs that one 2-0. Tyler Cadenhead through 3 innings has given up just 1 hit with 2 strikeouts. He's faced 11 batters. That pitch is sent well into left center field. Connor Curley trying to go all the way back to the wall. It's going to bounce right off the wall for a stand-up double. Teal was the one at the plate as he hits the double to lead things off here in the top of the 4th inning for Montevallo. He hit into a fielder's choice his first time up, but smacks a double deep in the left center field to open up the top of the 4th. It brings Asa Aubrey to the plate. This is one of the feared hitters on this Montevallo squad. 5 extra base knocks this season, and he's already hitting .405 on the year as he fouls that one back on the first pitch. TC got the better of him in his first time up as he hit into a fielder's choice to end the 1st inning. He's got a runner in scoring position for Montevallo, though. Just their 2nd hit of the game as he looks at a ball there. 1-1 the count. Cadenhead looks back at second base, sends the pitch in. It's fouled straight back, 1-2. Couple of crooked numbers up there for CSU. You got 4 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, 2 more in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the pitch. Another foul sent out of play there by Aubrey as he's in a battle here with Cadenhead. So we'll do the 1-2 pitch again. Caden Head looks back at second base. Teal's over there, and that one is lined foul. Aubrey just getting underneath that one. One and two the count. The lefty at the plate. Lefty left fielder out there in Aubrey. Caden Head looks back at second. Here's the 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat. Another foul off there. Aubrey, one of the freshmen on this squad out of Carrollton, Georgia. Caden Head set. Here comes the 1-2. Outside. Misses for ball two. He had himself a good series against West Georgia. Picked up hits in all three games in that series against West Georgia. Falcons actually lost that series 2-1. They've only won 2 series so far this season. But an 8-5 record overall. Here's the 2-2 pitch off the end of the bat, lifted into left field for Dane Bullock. He'll have it for out number 1. They swept their opening series against Ohio Valley, and they did it in grand fashion, outscoring Ohio Valley 42-11. Then they took 2 out of 3 against Trevecca Nazarene, and in fact, they had a couple of monster games, a 15-8 win and a 7-6 win. Then they ran into some trouble. West Florida took them 2 games out of 3, and then West Georgia took them 2 games out of 3. First pitch skied high, as Bryson Horn is going to watch that one go out of play for strike number 1. Marilla's the one up at the plate now. Teal's still over there on second base. He had the leadoff double in the top of the 4th. Again, we welcome those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV. I'm Corey Aldis. Just an audio version of this game. This midweek game between the Falcons and Cougars. Audio only because of senior night for our 2 basketball teams happening inside the Lumpkin Center. Tip-off is scheduled for 5:30, so in about 29 minutes over at the Lumpkin Center, they'll get underway on senior night. Lady Cougars in action against the Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern. Then the men's team will do battle immediately following the conclusion of the women's game. Hopefully this baseball game should be over right around the time that the women's game is ending. We can head on over there and catch the end of that game and catch the men's game. 2-1 the count. Runner on second base. Cougars on top 6-0 here in the top of the 4th. The designated hitter, Marilla, up at the plate right now. Caden Head sends the pitch. It's in the dirt. Ball 3. Caden Head breezed through his first 3 innings. Put up zeros in each of them. Had a 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd inning. Run into a little bit of trouble here in the 4th. No runs, though, still for Montevallo. Right now, Marilla is ahead 3-1 in the count. And he's got a runner over on second base. He lined out to short his first time up. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Off-speed breaking ball is fouled back. A couple of battles here in the last 2 batters. Aubrey really made Caden Head work for his last out. And Marilla is doing the same here at the plate. Here's the payoff pitch, just fouled back. Nicking that one was Tucker Marilla. He's hitting below 200 this season. In fact, a number of starters for Montevallo all hitting below 200. Tucker, one of them, hitting just 192 so far this year. Runner on second is Teal. Caden Head looks back at him. Sends the 3-2 pitch in, a swing and a miss. A strikeout recorded there by Caden Head. It's a big one for the Cougars. That's now the 2nd out. Just a second strikeout recorded by Cadenhead as well. Excuse me, the third strikeout. Picked up one in the first, one in the third, and now one in the fourth. So 2 down now with Evan Place up at the plate. He singled. He's got one of the 2 hits. He singled his first time up back in the top of the second. Yeah, the only 2 hits, a single by Place and a double by Teal. Teal, by the way, currently over on second base. That's it, though, for Montevallo. Cadenhead has been lights out. There's a strike that's thrown in there. 1-1 the count. Left-handed hitter Evan Place digging in. Cadenhead looks back at second base. Cougars trying to put up another 0. Pitches outside for ball 2, 2-1. Well, here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's way outside, not tempting there. It's going to be a favorable count here. Place at the plate in a 3-1 count. Cadenhead sends that pitch in. Oh, it got away from him and hit Place in the back as he just had to turn there, and he'll take first base. Pitch went straight into the back of Place. No runs in the first, second, and third innings with Cadenhead on the mound, but he's got runners on first and second. It's the best threat so far in this game for the Falcons. 2 outs, though. Just need 1 more out if you're Cadenhead with Langford at the plate. He fouled to first base his first time up, and he swings and misses on that first pitch, 0-1. Wait, Teal's been over there at second base for a long time. Had that leadoff double to open up this inning. He's just been hanging out over there at second ever since. Cadenhead has a 1-1 count. Runners on first and second for Montevallo. He sends the pitch in. It's ball, 2-1. Again, we welcome all those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV for this audio-only broadcast. No video for this game. But don't worry, the Cougars will be in action this upcoming weekend to take on Lander. We'll have all the streaming for you on Cougar Sports TV. That pitch is skied high just on the edge of the infield. McDade is on the dirt as he steps up to make the grab for the third and final out. A little pop-up there to the second baseman ends the threat. So no runs again come across for Montevallo. They're scoreless as we head to the bottom of the fourth here on Cougar Sports TV. We welcome those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV. We are entering the bottom of the fourth inning. Robert Brooks will lead things off. Another new pitcher up there on the mound as Brooks goes around there. He tried to check his swing. He'll be behind the count 0-1. Custer Kinlachini up there on the mound for Montevallo, making just his fourth appearance so far this season. As Brooks sends that one for a ride into right center field. And center fielder is going all the way back to the warning track as he makes the grab. It's Collymore out there for out number one. Well, if the wind wasn't just howling, blowing in, that might have had a chance. The wind has started to pick up lately here at Ragsdale Field. It's a chilly afternoon. I guess you can say evening now that it's 5:10 local time. Chilly evening here at Ragsdale Field. Boy, we started the baseball season off with some beautiful games. 60-degree weather, sun was shining. Lately, we've just had cloudy 40 to 50-degree weather games here at Ragsdale Field. So one down with Bryson Horn now at the plate. Looks at a strike there. 1-1 the count. Horn drew a walk his first time up. Two and one the count. One down. There's the pitch to Horn. It's outside. Now 3-1. A walk and a ground out for Horn in his two plate appearances so far. The lefty puts his bat down on home plate and gets set for the 3-1 pitch. He looks at ball four. Nope, he was swinging his bat, walking to first base. Looks at the home plate umpire. Doesn't agree with the call there. It's now a 3-2 count, so Horn will have to reset inside the batter's box. It's a full count now. Kinlachini is going to send this pitch in. The 3-2 pitch is fouled back. Third pitcher already for Montevallo. Meanwhile, Tyler Cadenhead, he's the only pitcher that's been out there so far for CSU. That pitch is fouled away again. It stays a full count. Cougars on top 6-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. They got 4 runs in the bottom of the second and 2 more in the bottom of the third. Three and 2 count. Here's the payoff as Horn fouls it off again. You can see the jersey's really starting to blow out there with the wind picking up. It's blowing right, left to right as it's coming in as well. Going to make things real difficult for some of those batters, especially the right-handed batters who try to pull that out to left field. Good news, though, for the Cougars. They've got a lefty with a lot of power up at the plate right now. He pulls it to the left side, but Bryson Horn's going to look at ball four, low in the dirt. He'll walk on over to first base. Second walk already of the game. That brings Drew Webb up to the plate for CSU. He has popped up twice. Been getting underneath the pitches in this one. Underneath a little too much. Pop up to the short and pop up to first base in his first 2 at-bats. Shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. The bullpen up and working. They've been working hard in this one for Montevallo. They've got more action happening. They've already put their third pitcher of the game in Kinlachini out there right now. But he walked Bryson Horn, and he's behind 2-0 here to Drew Webb. He's already walked 4 batters in just 2 innings of work coming into this game. So Horn makes it his 5th walk batter as Webb swings through that one for strike 1. Bottom of the fourth inning, the 2-1 pitch. Webb looks at a strike on the inside, 2-2. Cougars trying to take this midweek game, and they are off to a great start with a 6-0 lead. A much better start here than their last midweek game against Albany State a couple of weeks ago. That one grounded up to the second baseman. Only play to make his fielder's choice over at first base as Horn will head on over to second base. Just a slow roller there. So 2 down on the fielder's choice. And it brings Dane Bullock up to the plate. Smashed a solo shot over the left center field wall. His first time up. His third home run of the season. You know, he's one of those that likes to pull it out there into left. A right-handed hitter. Wind still howling in here at Ragsdale Field. First pitch got underneath it. We'll see if it stays in foul territory enough for the first baseman place to make the grab, and he can't quite make it. Wind was blowing that one right up against the fence. So lucky for Dane Bullock, he'll get another life. Cougars have this midweek game, and then we've got a 3-game set here at Ragsdale Field this weekend, so make sure you join us. We'll be right here, Cougar Sports TV, in just a couple days. We'll have the video for you as well. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a 3-game series against the Bearcats of Lander. Ball thrown there to make it a 1-1 count. And then finally, the Cougars will be on the road, man. It feels like we've been living here at Ragsdale Field. Not complaining. Love these home games. But unfortunately, you know, with all the home games, eventually they'll be on the road. They've got a 3-game series against Augusta, and then a 3-game series the following weekend against USC Aiken on the road. So we'll enjoy this one, and then the 3-game set here at home before Cougars have to hit the road. Boy, wind really coming in right now. Must be 20-plus miles an hour as it is howling left to right. Fans all bundled up here at Ragsdale Field. That's a great pitch sent in there by Kinley Cheney, a breaking ball that comes across for strike number 2. You can hear the wind howling just outside my door. Shut the window here as well to keep things a little quieter for our audio-only broadcast. Here's the 2-2 pitch off the end of the bat into right field. We'll see if the wind can help us out here. It's just foul, though. The wind carrying it just a little bit too much. Come on, wind. You did a good job to keep it away from Kane out there in right field, but did a little bit too much to push it foul. So Horn will stay over there at second base. Bullock will head back to the plate with a 2-2 count. 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. It's a 6-0 Cougar lead. Again, Bullock sends one into left field, but the wind is going to blow that one in for Aubrey, who makes the grab for out number 3. Well, we're through 4 here on Cougar Sports TV. CSU on top, 6-0. Welcome back here on Cougar Sports TV for our audio-only broadcast as the Cougars are taking on the Falcons of Montevallo. CSU on top 6-0 here as we enter the top of the fifth inning here on Cougar Sports TV. Our two basketball teams getting set to get underway inside the Lumpkin Center. The women's basketball game will happen first in about 10 minutes. They're on the court getting set for tip. It's senior night inside the Lumpkin Center. Got a whole slew of seniors on both of our men's and women's basketball teams. We'll be over there broadcasting all the action as that ball has popped up on the infield. The wind is really going to carry this ball. David Meadows is coming all the way over and makes a basket catch right in front of the second baseman, Matthew McDade. Meadows came all the way across the diamond, tracked through the mound, and made the grab in between first and second base. The wind just kept blowing that one. My goodness. That's a great play, though, by Meadows to make the basket catch for outbound. Again, another ball sent to the same spot, high and inside. Two 2-0 the count here to Wooten. He struck out his first time up. One of the 4 strikeouts as that one sent over to McDade for out number 2. Excuse me, I should say 3 strikeouts so far for Cadenhead. But he gets the second out here in the top of the 5th. Ground out there brings Kane up to the plate. What a job here by Tyler Cadenhead. Put together a performance that you all recall from Cadenhead, especially his sophomore season when he went 9-1 as a Cougar and really helped CSU en route to that World Series appearance. And a little bit of a down year last year, but finished with a 4-3 record overall. This is a great outing, though, by Tyler Cadenhead, one that can really kind of instill that confidence back in him as a pitcher. He's quickly ahead 0-2 here to Kane with 2 down and the base is empty. That pitch is outside, ball 1. Here comes the pitch, outside again, ball 2. So 2-2 the count. Kane, the one at the plate. He struck out and ground out in his first 2 plate appearances. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He's going to ground out again. He goes right over to Boughton. That's short. And the throw to first is dug out there by Bryson Horn. Another great inning for Tyler Cadenhead. 3 up, 3 down. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th here on Cougar Sports TV. Bottom of the 5th inning here on Cougar Sports TV, part of this audio-only broadcast. midweek game as the sun has actually started to shine here at Ragsdale Field. Again, still chilly and the wind howling out there, blowing left to right, but at least the sun is out. It's crept through the cloud coverage that we have here at Ragsdale Field. First pitch swinging there by Will Wilbanks. He's just going to pop it up to the shortstop Wooten for out number 1. New pitcher up there on the mound. It's number 49. We saw number 48 earlier, not number 49. There was a mistake between the numbers. So Daniel Bussi was up there earlier for Montevallo, but now Colin Booten, the pitcher, up there for the Falcons. So this now the 4th pitcher of the game already for Montevallo. Matthew McDade, the one at the plate, 1-1 the count to the sophomore. Picked up a single and came around to score back in the bottom of the 2nd inning for CSU. He fouls that one out of play. 1-2. McDade this season for the Cougars hitting .317. This is sophomore campaign. No sophomore slump here for Matthew McDade. That's what you like to see. Hit .278 as a freshman as he rips one foul down the third baseline. .278 as a freshman, and now he's hitting over .300 here as a sophomore. He made the move from third base over to second base. Coaches felt like that was a more natural spot for him, with Meadows taking the hot corner position. That pitch is hit well into center field by Matthew McDade, giving chase as Collymore, and he'll settle underneath it for the out. So the pop-up by Wilbanks and the fly out by McDade. 2 quick outs here with Booten on the mound. Brings Connor Curley to the plate. He's got 2 singles, and he hits one well into center field, but chasing that one is Collymore and makes the grab just in time. That one hung up just a tad bit too much there. A couple of flyouts to center on back-to-back outs for the Cougars. That was a real quick bottom of the 5th. Let's go to the 6th. It's still 6-0. Cougs on top. Well, Tyler Cadenhead didn't get much time to rest there. In the bottom of the 5th, Cougars quickly went 3 up, 3 down. So he's back up on the mound here to start the top of the 6th inning for CSU. Bunt shown to open up this inning. Brooks going to make the throw to first, but it's offline. It's going to go all the way into the outfield as Drew Webb is going to have to chase it down. Going to advance the runner over to second base. So Montevallo with a runner over on second base. That's Collymore leading things off for Montevallo. Collymore has a lot of speed on the base pass. Wouldn't be too surprised that he showed bunt there to get on base and then is able to advance the second on the error. All right, Cadenhead, if he wants to keep the 0 up there on the board, even though it's not going to be his fault with the error, he's got some work to do with the runner in scoring position to lead this inning off. On 1 the count. Pitch sent in. There's a ball, 1-1. Runner over on second base. Here's the 1-1 pitch off speed. It goes through the hole in the right side. Drew Webb out there in right field. They're going to wave the runner home. Webb's got a cannon out there in right. He delivers a strike. No doubt about it. A little strut there from Drew Webb out in right field. Can't test the arm of Webb. A mistake there by Montevallo. It wasn't even close. Burks had it in his glove with Collymore not even 3/4 of the way home. He was just past about halfway to home plate, and Burks already had it in his glove, so he just stood there to tag him out. So wipe that error off the board as the Cougars are able to gun down a runner at the plate. That one skied high for McDade just outside the infield for out number 2. Boy, I said that Cadenhead had some work to do. He's done it here for the Cougars. Couple of quick outs. 2 down, runner still over there on first base. That one is a fair ball just over the glove of Meadows over at third base. It goes all the way into the outfield for Dane Bullock. They're going to wave home the runner. A little bobble, so easily coming home to score are the Falcons as they get their first run of the game with Ben Teal crossing home plate. It's going to be an RBI double for Montevallo as they are finally on the board. And we almost got that 0 up there this inning. So Teal ends up across home plate for the first run of the game for the Falcons off the RBI double from Aurelia. And that one is hit well into right field. Drew Webb is going back towards the warning track. The wind's going to hang that one up just in front of the warning track for out number 3. Montevallo gets a run there in the top of the frame. It's now a 6-1 game. We'll see if the Cougars can respond back here on Cougar Sports TV. Welcome back here on Cougar Sports TV. David Meadows leading things off here for CSU as he looks at a strike to open up the bottom of the 6th inning. We welcome those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV for this audio-only broadcast. Another new pitcher out there, the 5th pitcher already. Boy, Montevallo really getting their money's worth out there on the mound. Joel Cheatwood, the new pitcher, making his 7th appearance, second on the team in appearances so far this season. He's got a 2.70 ERA and 10 innings of work. He's ahead in the count 1-2 with Meadows up at the plate for his 4th at-bat of the game, and what a day he's had so far. He hits that one high in the air. It might drop into no man's land, but it will, but it's going to be in foul territory. The wind just pushed it foul out there outside the right field line. Meadows will have to head on back to the plate. So Montevallo, they got to run back there in the top of the 6th, making it a 6-1 game. Here's the pitch sent in. It's just fouled away as Meadows reached for that one. One and two the count. Another foul off there. Here comes the pitch from Cheatwood. Reaching for that one was Meadows as fouls it off again. Really dipping down low to stay alive in this AB. Columbus State looking for its first midweek win of the season. And they had that loss earlier to Albany State in the middle of the week. Meadows hits that one into center field. Collymore is there for out number 1. So Meadows struck out in his first at-bat and then had an RBI double and a 2 RBI single, sandwiched in between a couple of outs. Isaac Boughton now up at the dish. He also has 2 RBIs in this one, as that one's going to go foul. Just a little dribbler there outside the third base line. 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs as Boughton had those 2 RBIs back in the bottom of the 2nd. Part of that 4-run inning for CSU. Well, the women's basketball game has gotten underway. So you can follow along also on Cougar Sports TV as the women's basketball team has taken on Georgia Southwestern. It's senior night over there. We wish our Lady Cougars luck. In the bottom of the 6th, as that pitch is fouled out of play again. 1 and 2 now the count. One down, base is empty here for Isaac Boughton. That pitch in the dirt, 2 and 2. Cheatwood, the new pitcher up there right now for Montevallo. 5th one of the game. Here's the 2-2. Wasn't tempting enough. Boughton lays off. Full count. So with one down, here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's going to be low for ball 4. Boughton will head on over to first base on the walk. That will bring Robert Brooks to the plate for CSU with a runner over on first and only 1 down. That pitch is low in the dirt for ball 1. Brooks 1 for 3, had a double back in the first inning, a 2-out double as he fouls that one out of play, 1-1. But a couple of flyouts after that. He's got Bouton over there on first, 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That one fouled straight back, 1-2. Inside on the hands of Brooks there. Here's the pitch, 1-2. Now make it 2-2. Good job by the catcher Langford to hang on to that one. Almost went to the backstop. Brooks gets low and gets set on the 2-2 pitch and rips a single through the left side. Going to be a single for Robert Brooks, and it'll put runners on first and second. It's his second hit of the game. Well, with that, coach is going to head on out to the mound, and it looks like we might have another pitching change for Montevallo. Cheatwood is going to leave runners on first and second. We'll head to the bullpen. That means we'll take a break here on Cougar Sports TV. Only one out, runners on first and second here for CSU in the bottom of the sixth. Welcome back here on Cougar Sports TV. We're in the bottom of the sixth inning. Another pitching change for Montevallo. It's their sixth pitcher of the game, as J.D. Keitel now the new pitcher out there for the Falcons. So number 43, making his fifth appearance this season, as Keitel has a 5.06 ERA. His first pitch is in there for a ball. Bryson Horn, the one at the plate here for CSU. He's got runners on first and second base. Chance to do some damage here for CSU. Already on top 6-1. They're trying to get that one run back. Montevallo plating their first run of the game in the top frame of this inning. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one misses low, 2-0. They keep going back to the lefty-lefty matchups here. Horn, though, ahead 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Settles in there for a strike to make it 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Horn, a comebacker. It goes right off of Keitel, and it's a great play for Montevallo as they get the runner out at second base off of the fielder's choice. A lucky play there as that one was going to go right up the gut. Luckily for Montevallo, it bounced right off of Keitel and went to the second baseman. So the out there on the fielder's choice puts runners on the corners. And now 2 down. With Drew Webb at the plate. Here comes the pitch. It's in the dirt there. 2 down and 2-0 now the count. Drew Webb with runners on the corners looks at a strike. Makes it a 2-1 count. Webb 0 for 3 on the afternoon. 1 of 2 Cougars without a hit as he grounds that one to third base. A diving play made by Latimer, and he goes the short route over to second base for the third and final out. Another fielder's choice there for CSU. There's 3 outs, so they aren't able to get that run back. We're through 6 here on Cougar Sports TV. It's a 6-1 game. CSU on top. Welcome back here on Cougar Sports TV. We're into the 7th inning. Cougars on top, 6-1. Cadenhead back out there for CSU. Sends a pitch in there for a ball. Cougars had an opportunity there in the bottom of the 6th to try to get a run back, but unable to do so. Latimer is the one at the plate. Wooten on deck. That pitch is outside for another ball. 3-1 the count now. TC putting together his best performance by far of the season. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, though. It's inside and high. It's going to be ball 4 as Tyler Cadenhead is going to issue the walk. It's actually the first walk of the game issued by Tyler Cadenhead. Well, 1-out walk here in the top of the 7th inning. Oh, 0-1 the count. Runner over on first base after the walk. That pitch is fouled back. A couple of foul balls here from Ty Wooten. Wooten 0 for 2 at the plate, and then the top of the lineup will be coming around for the 4th time in the game. TC looks over at first base. He's ahead in this count. A lot of wiggle room here. Ahead 0-2. Just misses there. Boy, he thought that was strike number 3. I thought so too. Looked like it hit the corner there. No dice from the umpire. 1-2 the count. A swing and a miss there. Strike 3 as Wooten strikes out for the 2nd time today. It's a great pitch sent in there by Tyler Cadenhead as he racks up his 4th strikeout of the game. Ball to start this at bat with Kane coming up once again, his 4th time at the plate. A strikeout and a couple of groundouts for Kane on the evening. Sun again shining back out there. The clouds have finally passed. Still chilly and very windy here at Ragsdale Field this evening. Try to get through these final few innings here with the sun out before things really start to get cold as nighttime progresses. 1-1 the count, 2 down, runner on first. Here's the pitch from Cadenhead. It's lofted into towards foul territory. David Meadows is out there at third base, and he's going to make the grab in foul territory for the 3rd and final out. So the Cougars get out of it. No damage done. It's still a 6-1 game. Stretch it out. Let's head to the bottom of the 7th after that. We welcome those of us who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV. Got a lot happening here inside the press box as we try to keep the stats and do this audio broadcast with so many of our people over at basketball as well, juggling a lot of things as we try to bring you all the action here at CSU. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 6-1 game. Will Wilbanks is the one at the plate right now for CSU. That one fouled out of play by Wilbanks, is making it a full count. Again, Wilbanks is going to foul that one off. He's in a battle right here with Montevallo. So here comes a 3-2 pitch with one down. That one inside on Wilbanks. He's going to be walked. He'll head on over to first base. That'll bring Matthew McDade up to the plate for CSU. McDade had that single all the way back in the first inning, but a couple of flyouts since then. Here comes the pitch. That one high on Matthew McDade. There's one down, runner over on first base. Another ball sent in to McDade. 2-0 now the count. Montevallo 8-5 on the season. They're 2-4 in conference play. They've got this game against Columbus State, this midweek game. They'll be back in action, though, in conference action this upcoming weekend. 3-game set against Auburn, Montgomery, and then a 3-game set the following weekend against Union. They're living at home for the next couple of weeks, unlike the Cougars, who will be on the road. They've got series against Auburn, Montgomery, Union, and Florida Southern, back-to-back-to-back weekends. They'll be living that home life. 5-1 so far in the season at home. McDade chops that one over to third base. No double play. They'll just go to first base for the out. McDade out on the fielder's choice as Wilbanks advances over to second base. Puts him in scoring position for Connor Curley, who's now at the plate. Two outs here for Connor Curley with a runner over there on second base. Here comes the pitch. Just catches the strike zone there on Curley. 1-1 now the count. The runner on second, it's Will Wilbanks for CSU. 2 down. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball inside, misses. 2-1. Curley with a couple of singles on the afternoon. And those 2 singles in his first 2 at-bats. Just keeping up with that batting average, Connor Curley. One of the leaders on this squad, hitting .372 coming into this game. It's going to look nicer after this one. He skies that one into center field, though. A routine fly ball for Collymore in center. There's the third and final out, so we'll head to the 8th inning here on Cougar Sports TV. We're back here in the top of the 8th inning at Ragsdale Field. It's a 6-1 game. Cougars on top of the Falcons. New pitcher out there on the mound, which means Tyler Cadenhead's night is complete. And a fantastic job on the mound for TC. He went 7 strong, gave up just 4 hits. 1 run came across. It was unearned while he struck out 4. Nick Adams, the new pitcher out there for CSU. They've got a pinch hitter, Sam Stewart, at the plate right now. 1-1 the count. So with Cadenhead done, Nick Adams will get a chance to head on out there for CSU. He's only making his 2nd appearance this season, the lefty sophomore from Smith Station, Alabama. One of those players that went just across the river over at Glenwood High. Only made 1 appearance last year, went 3 1/3, and he's gone 1 inning so far this season for the Cougars. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Called third strike. So a strikeout there as the pinch hitter, number 15, Sam Stewart, looks at a called third strike. Nice play there by Boughton over to first base on the ground out for out number 2 as Teal grounds out. So 2 quick outs here with Adams on the bump. 2 outs, it'll bring up Asa Aubrey to the plate. Aubrey in his 4th at-bat this afternoon. 0 for 3 so far. Adams looking to go 1-2-3 here for CSU. First pitch swinging is fouled out of play. Adams working real quickly here for CSU. Sends another pitch in. That's going to be a ball. 1-1 the count. One and two the count with 2 down. Base is empty. Here comes the pitch. That one's grounded foul. Just 4 hits on the evening for Montevallo as a team and 1 run. It's a 6-1 lead here for CSU. They just need 4 more outs to come away with the midweek win. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one lofted into center field. Connor Curley racing on up. It's going to hang up there and drift into his glove for the 3rd and final out. Aubrey flies out to center field. That'll do it. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Cougars still on top, 6-1 here on Cougar Sports TV. We're back here on Cougar Sports TV at Ragsdale Field. Bottom of the 8th inning, Cougars enjoying a 6-1 advantage. They scored all 6 of their runs in the second and third innings. It's been plenty of those so far. Tyler Kittenhead went 7 innings, gave up just 4 hits with 4 strikeouts. Nick Adams went 1-2-3 and disposed of the Falcons in the top of the frame. See if maybe the Cougars can add any runs here to the board, but they'll only need 3 more defensive outs to put a wrap on this one. David Meadows at the plate here for CSU. Pitch sent in. That one's low as Meadows looks at a ball. 2-0 the count. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be low again. It's going to be a 3-0 count here with Meadows at the plate. Great spot to be in here for Meadows. It's the top of the lineup. They're getting a chance to bat for the 5th time this evening. He looks all the way, called strike, 3-1. And that's going to be ball 4 as Meadows will head on over to first base. Here comes a pitch sent into Isaac Boughton, who sends it into center field. A little bloop there. It's going to be a single and a misjudge there by the center fielder, as runners are going to advance to second and third base off the error in center field. Again, remember, there's a new center fielder out there in Stewart, and he makes the error to advance the runners. So on the E8, we'll have runners now on second and third base with Robert Brooks at the plate. Still no outs for CSU. They got a chance to certainly add a run or two in here in this. Brooks has been a little bit unlucky in his second and third at-bats on those flyouts. They got caught up in the wind. He's fighting an uphill battle. But guess what? The wind has died down a little bit out there in center field. Maybe a little bit of an opening here for Robert Brooks to send one of those patented fly balls into left field. One and one the count. That pitch gets away from the catcher. It's a wild pitch, and that's going to advance the runners as Meadows is going to come around and score. Two and one the count. Robert Brooks still up there at the plate. And CSU picks up a run on the wild pitch, making it a 7-1 advantage. Pitch sent in, and it's going to be another wild pitch. Another run is going to score. Back-to-back wild pitches. That's ball 4 anyways, as Brooks will head on over to first base. But a couple of wild pitches by the new pitcher, Ryan Curran. So he's run into all sorts of trouble here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 more runs come across. It's now 8-1, and Brooks is over there on first base. Oh, it's a doubleheader happening over at the Lumpkin Center with our Lady Cougar basketball team. They actually trail by 3 right now at the halftime break. A really low-scoring game, 23-20. Tough shooting over there inside the Lumpkin Center. But a 3-point deficit right now for the Lady Cougars. Bryson Horn now at the plate for CSU as the lefty steps up. See if he can keep on adding to the runs here in this inning for CSU. It's now 8-1. Two and one the count with Bryson Horn up at the plate. Brooks over there on first base. Still no outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cougars on top 8-1. Horn hits one well into center field. The new center fielder is going to come up and not get there in time. It's going to drop in for a single. It just kind of hung up there and then dropped into no man's land. Stewart was trying to come all the way up. Bryson Horn's going to pick up a single for CSU. Still no outs. So no outs up there on the board for the Cougars, and they've got runners on first and second. It's been a productive inning so far for CSU. They've gotten the best of the new pitcher, Ryan Coran, out there, who, by the way, came into this game in 3 appearances without having given up a run. He's run into all sorts of trouble here. A couple of wild pitches that scored runs, a walk, a couple of errors, 2 walks, and a single. Pitch is low for Drew Webb. It's going to advance the runners over to second and third, so another wild pitch. My goodness, runners are advancing all over the place on these wild pitches. Third wild pitch already of the inning. And Coran now has runners on second and third with Webb at the plate. Here's your RBI chance if you're Drew Webb. He's way ahead in the count. 3-0. We'll see if he's sitting all the way. The 3-0 pitch looks at a strike. Makes it a 3-1 count. The 3-1 pitch is inside on Drew Webb, so he'll head on over to first base. Good for Drew Webb to get on the base paths here for CSU. That is going to load the bases, and Coach Rose, I believe, has seen enough, as it looks like Montevallo might go back to their bullpen. Coran did not record a single out. He'll head to the dugout. We'll take a break on Cougar Sports TV. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Well, here we go. The Cougars have the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning. They are on top 8-1, and Dane Bullock, the one at the plate. First pitch, he looks at a called strike as that one breaks across the middle on Bullock. He's got a home run already in his first at-bat, and that solo home run over the left center field wall. Another new pitcher out there for Montevallo, as Christian Simon is coming to the game for the Falcons. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, 0-2. So Simon makes it another new pitcher out there for the Falcons. Already their 8th pitcher of the game. Simon with a 6.75 ERA and 5 1/3 innings of work. That one sent straight to the shortstop, a chance to flip two, and a double play is turned for the Falcons. So one run does come across for CSU as Brooks heads on home off the double play. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Will Wilbanks as Kirkwood will come in. Drake Kirkwood will get a chance to pinch hit with a runner over on third base and 2 down. Here's the pitch that's fouled back by Kirkwood. 2-1 the count. So Drake Kirkwood getting the pinch hit opportunity. Just his 3rd appearance this season. He's got 4 at-bats. He's 1 for 4. Had that double that scored a run earlier this year. A senior from Alberta, Canada. Here's the 2-1. Misses low and inside. Ball 3. Simon trying to get out of this inning, sends a pitch in. It's hit high in the air towards right field. Kane is tracking back, and he'll get underneath it for the 3rd and final out. So a fly out there by Kirkwood into right. And the Cougar defense will come up. They need just 3 more outs to pick up the win here on Cougar Sports TV. Here we go. 3 more outs to go for the Cougar defense as they try to pick up their first midweek game of the season and improve to 11-3 on the year. Nick Adams got the job done in the 8th. He went 1-2-3. Russell Forthoffer now out there for CSU. So 40 getting a chance to wrap things up here in the 9th inning. Cougars on top of the Falcons 9-1 as Forthoffer sends that pitch to the backstop on his first throw of the game. Marilia will be the one at the plate right now. Marilia then Place and Langford. 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Marilia fouls that one straight back. Excuse me, it's a pinch hitter that's out there right now in Mitch Fleming. So Mitch Fleming now out there for Montevallo. A swing and a miss there makes it a 1-2 count. It's always fun to see Russell Forthoffer out there, a great guy for CSU, making his 4th appearance. He hasn't given up a run so far this season. He's got 3 innings, just 1 hit with a strikeout. Let's keep it that way. He sends the 1-2 pitch in for a called third strike. Fleming just stares at that one on his pinch hit opportunity. He's going to have to go right back to the dugout. One down, Evan Place now at the plate. The first baseman looks at a ball to start this at bat. Well, with a win here, CSU will pick up their 11th win of the season. Again, make sure you join us here on Cougar Sports TV. We'll have the video coverage for you this upcoming weekend. It's a conference tilt, as the Bearcats of Lander will come to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. First pitch is scheduled for 6 p.m. Friday night. Make sure you join us right here on Cougar Sports TV. We'll have that game and all the coverage for you here. The 1-1 pitch. That's a ball. 2-1 now the count. Base is empty here with 1 down. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Well, that's inside on Place as he had to back up. 3-1. Forty delivers the 3-1 pitch. It's fouled back. Full count. See if Forthoffer can pick up this out right here. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And just misses there. It looked like Place was about to walk back to the dugout. He thought it might have been a strike. Instead, it's ball 4, and he'll head over to first base. So Place goes over to first base. Alex Langford now the one at the plate. It's a 9-1 game here as Langford hits that one into no man's land. And look at David Meadows. Oh, couldn't quite grab it in foul territory. He was backtracking and tried to do an over-the-shoulder basket catch, but it popped out of his glove. Luckily in foul territory, though, as Langford will head back to the plate. Cougars on top, 9-1. Just need 2 more outs here with Russell Forthoffer on the mound. That one hit sharply, a line out straight to Meadows. He's going to go over to second base. They're going to double him up. Why not get a double play to end the game? Meadows over the first base. The Cougars pick up the double play, and that'll do it here at Ragsdale Field. Well, you wouldn't have it any other way if you're a CSU fan. A line out double play as that ball went straight to Meadows, and the Cougars pick up the 9-1 win here at Ragsdale Field to improve to 11-3 on the season. Montevallo will drop to 8-6. Again, they'll have the return game at Montevallo later on this season on April 8th. as the Cougars will travel to Montevallo for that return game. But CSU keeps things rolling here at Ragsdale Field. Well, it's been fun here on this audio-only broadcast. It's going to be even more fun this weekend, though. Conference series, and we'll have all the video coverage for you here on Cougar Sports TV. We're going to head on over to the Lumpkin Center to catch the action between the Lady Cougars and the Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern for that doubleheader this evening. So that's going to wrap things up for us here at Ragsdale Field. For our statistician and our producer, for everyone here, I'm Corey Aldis. Your final score, it's 9-1. Cougars come out on top. We'll see y'all right back here at Burger King Stadium Friday night against Lander. Have a great night.